If you're anything like I was 6 months ago, you're probably wearing multiple hats in your businesses. You're a chief everything officer, you're in sales, you're in marketing, you're in operations, you're in fulfillment, you're on Slack, you're answering emails, you're training your sales reps, you're listening to calls, you're on Zoom meetings all day long. And then it's 9 o'clock at night and you're like, oh shit, I have 15 things on my to-do list. I don't have the time, the energy to actually get shit done in my business. Well, here are the 5 biggest time-saving hacks, tools, and techniques that I use on a daily basis to earn 3 to 4 hours back every single day. The number 1 tool that I use every day, all day long, is called the Pomodoro technique. Now, what a Pomodoro technique is a different set of time blocking. You probably have used time blocks, but you never really stick to it because it's not a Pomodoro. Now, what is this weird word?
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Right? A Pomodoro is the understanding of actually building out your day in prioritization of your high-level tasks and also attributing and accounting for time away from the computer. If you're like most people, you're stuck on a screen all day long, whether it's your phone, your iPad, your laptop, your TV, we're constantly plugged into electronics, social media, whatever that might be. Not conducive. What a Pomodoro does is it accounts every 30-minute block for 5 minutes of time away from the computer and time away from your task. You'll be amazed at how important this actually is. Now, the reason why Pomodoros are so effective for me and so many other of my business owner friends is because it applies Parkinson's law. Now, Parkinson's law states that the time allotted for completion of a task will be the time that it requires to complete that task. So what do I mean by that? If you say that you have to review sales calls for an hour, it's gonna take you exactly that container of time of 1 hour to actually complete that task. Now, I wanna challenge you, if you're watching this video, to allot for less time to complete the task that you're normally doing on a day-to-day basis. So Pomodoros give you 25 minutes for a 30-minute task, right? So now that you've given yourself 25 minutes to complete something, given Parkinson's law, you're gonna be very surprised at how efficient you become at completing a task when you're working against an allotment of time. The Pomodoro-tracker.com is what I use, and it actually has a timer in your Chrome tab that's gonna be ticking down. So as you're completing your task, you're gonna see the clock ticking, and it's gonna motivate you and push you to complete that task in a smaller amount of time, allowing you to get more shit done every single day. Another rule that I live by is if it takes you less than 3 minutes, do it right away. If it takes you more than 3 to 5 minutes, plan for it later in your Pomodoros, right? So if someone slacks you saying, hey, can you do this small menial task? Instead of putting it off till later, just do it right in that moment, get it done, right? But if it's something that takes a lot of time, that's gonna actually pull you away from the task that you're currently doing, schedule that inside your Pomodoro tracker to get completed later that day. A really great tool that we use internally is a product called Airtable. Now, what Airtable allows is for full visibility and transparency into every task that has to get done, every deliverable for every single client, and a tracking system to understand where each sales lead is inside of the pipeline. We use a company called Zeus with Jordan Paris. They built out our Airtable. Highly recommend you using them. They absolutely changed our business. That's besides the fact. Another tool that we use is a tool called Zapier. Zapier is a tool that will automate tasks across multiple different softwares and platforms. So if you see yourself doing tasks over and over and over and over again, they become repetitive and monotonous. There's a very good chance that you can automate that using Zapier. A very good way of using this and searching for it is if you just Google the 2 softwares that you use a lot. So let's give a hypothetical situation here, right? So we use Go High Level and Google Sheets. Just Google Go High Level, Google Sheets, Zapier. And Zapier actually has built out landing pages where they list out exactly every single task that that software tool can automate, and just go down the line and think, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do that? You can now automate it using Zapier. It's gonna save you so much time on a day-to-day basis. Something that I struggle with for a very long time, and it was a very hard habit for me to break, was actually relinquishing the power to trust another person in my business to be able to complete a task to the same level that I was able to complete that task. Now, what I actually had to do was understand that I just wasn't training that person to the degree they needed to be trained. And it was because I was subconsciously not wanting to relinquish that task to another individual within my business. And I actually had to train my brain to, instead of completing a task, stopping, thinking about it, do I actually need to complete this? Or does someone else that I've hired and trained in my business have the skills and the tools to be able to complete this task? Now, a really good thing to do there was using a tool called Tango.us. What Tango.us does is it's going to screen record you doing the task, and it's going to complete a step-by-step breakdown with screenshots of every click of your mouse. It's going to put it into a Google Doc so you can actually send exactly step-by-step how you completed a task to one of your team members, and they're going to be able to easily replicate that task. Now, if you start to make this a habit within your business and on a daily basis, you're going to be able to delegate and create leverageable assets in your business to be able to grow and scale without stressing yourself out and without you becoming the key constraint to your business. Now, if you found this valuable, I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button and watch more of my content.